A very warm welcome to everyone. Today we will be talking about Ashtavakra Gita's chapter 1. I will be sharing you some insight of this chapter. I will be talking about some quotations. I will be talking about the things that are mainly mentioned in chapter 1. After that, in the long run, we will be completing this book. We will be taking on all the insights inside this book and all the things on the main things that are actually mentioned, or the things that it is here for you to know. Will not be going super deep because I myself am not capable of taking you that deep into this book. For the best reference, you can actually read it yourself. That would be the best thing, because this book has nothing to do with your karma. Bhagavad Gita, let me differentiate Bhagavad Gita and Ashtavakra Gita, because many people don't know what is Ashtavakra Gita and how is it different from Bhagavad Gita. Everybody knows about Bhagavad Gita. So Ashtavakra Gita is not at all your Bhagavad Gita. It's not a part of it. It's not a sub part or anything. It's not related to it. Okay. Ashtavakra Gita, you can see it from here. You can see it from the photo. It's different. It's a different book. It's a book about a person whose name was Ashtavakra. He was disabled from 8 part of his limbs. Okay, so it's a story. Many guys have heard of Ashtavakra, a person who is disabled from 8 parts of his limbs. Okay, so it's a book based on his sayings or things he preaches. Bhagavad Gita speaks about dharma, karma, bhakti. It speaks about everything because it was said by Krishna. And most importantly, it may sound triggering to many people, but with no hate, if you do a little bit of research, you will come to know that Krishna was a kind of diplomatic was a kind of diplomat. He used to speak like a diplomat. Okay, he used to like take in consideration of everything. He used to speak about karma. So people who are more inclined towards karma will find that engaging. People who are more inclined towards bhakti will find it engaging as well. Who are more inclined towards their dharma will find it engaging as well. Why? Because Krishna used to speak about every aspect of one's life, how they should live their life. Actually, that is a thing, because it's a philosophical thing. You have to understand that. So Bhagavad Gita is like something that everybody can read, everybody can find it relatable. But Ashtavakra Gita is not like that. Ashtavakra Gita is a different book in itself. It will speak about the harsh reality, or it will speak about something that will not actually try to include you, or will not try to make you feel good. It is not interested to make you feel inclined towards it. You have to like find that inclination in yourself to read it, and while reading it, it will be a little bit hard to actually relate with this book. Okay, well, philosophies are the things that we can find relatable or actually can find logical. You may find this logical, but you may not find this relatable. Why mainly people go behind Bhagavad Gita? If you have not read Bhagavad Gita, you must give it a try. At least 3 to 4 chapters. Go and read that thing out, man. It will change you. I mean, it will change the way you think. Okay, I'm not saying to actually go deep and like just blow your mind out in that process. No, you don't have to. Just go and get the knowledge of it. If you are here, maybe you have read Bhagavad Gita. That's why you are interested to click on this video. But still, if you haven't read, try it out. Ashtavakra Gita is a different book. It is named Gita, but it's not related to Gita. So let's start. So I will start with 1 or 2 quotations from this book. Probably it will help you out understanding the whole story of this book. One is the false identification of the self with not the self. Follow my words carefully. The identification of the self with not the self is the cause of bondage. Bondage is thus due to ignorance of the real nature of the self, and freedom is attained as soon as the ignorance disappears on the dawn of self-realization. Okay, so the false identification of the self with not the self. Here in this book, your body, as usual, is considered as not the self. Okay, it's not everything you have got. It speaks about mainly your consciousness. It doesn't even speak about your soul in that way. It mainly goes on your consciousness. It's okay, I said you, it will be a little bit hard to grab, and it may differ from person to person. Every philosophy is different from person to person, the way they grab it. Okay, so it mainly speaks about bondage, ego, your body, your attachments. Okay, so let's not go too deep. I'm just here to get those keywords out to actually help you navigate this book. Another one, as I'm speaking about ego, it goes with ego. The psychological world is as much illusory appearance as the objective. The mind and the ego are primarily responsible for bondage. Okay, see, the illusory appearance as the objective world. The psychological world is as much illusory appearance as the objective world. So the psychological world is the world that has been spoken about in the Bhagavad Gita. Here, as I told you before, that here we'll be talking mainly about consciousness. Okay, it's not about your psychology. It's not about the way you think. The karma, dharma, bhakti, and other things, they're mainly psychological. You know that's your karma. You know that's your dharma. You know you should have bhakti towards Krishna, and that actually Krishna is not even an object. Krishna is an idea. So we'll be talking about that thing later. Here they separated your consciousness with your psychological idea, and it speaks about ego. Okay, see, the mind and the ego are primarily responsible for bondage. Fine. So let's start with the chapter 1, that is Introduction on Self-Realization. It speaks about self-realization. So here Ashtavakra is asked that how can knowledge be acquired? How can liberation be acquired? How is renunciation possible? Tell me this, O Lord. So this is the first question, and this chapter is based on these questions. Okay, the way he answers them. So let's just take out the main materials from here, and I will try to break them out for you. Okay. So Ashtavakra replied, if you aspire after liberation, my child, shun the objects of the senses as poison. Seek forgiveness, sincerity, kindness, contentment, and truth as nectar. It's a beautiful idea. It's a really beautiful idea. So he's speaking about forgiveness at the first. Okay, forgiveness. Okay, forgiveness is it's a very deep idea. You have to understand forgiveness. Like when you will dive in philosophy, there are stages. Okay, and after you have actually crossed a multiple stage, you will actually come head to head with the idea of forgiveness. People say that mainly people, those are not too much inclined towards philosophy, they often argue with forgiveness, that they should not be forgiven and all of those things, because they said take what you deserve. Okay, so this is the modern language. But here, as we are talking about consciousness, and every philosophy has a touch of nihilism behind it. We'll talk about nihilism in depth. We'll take parts of that video. Okay, we cannot actually grab nihilism in one video. Actually, we have to break it in part, and we have to talk about it. It's very deep. We'll talk about every philosophy with accordance with nihilism, and this one is with accordance to nihilism as well, because forgiveness comes from nihilism as well, and we'll prove that in some other videos. And sincerity, kindness, contentment, and truth as nectar. Okay, so these are the things that are mainly made up of. This book is made up of. Okay, so The next thing, let's talk about the next thing, that is the detachment. Okay, detachment of you from your body. Now, we all have heard the journey of the soul. Let's take it in that way to be easier to understand. The journey of the soul. Here, if you detach yourself from the body and rest in intelligence, you will at once be happy, peaceful, and free from bondage. It speaks about the journey of the soul somewhere. Although it doesn't take soul as a reference point in any part, because it mainly speaks about consciousness. Okay. After that, let's move to some other part. You are neither doer nor enjoyer. You are verily ever free. So it's a very deep thing. You are neither doer nor enjoyer. You are verily free. Okay, pleasure, pain are of the mind, not of you. Fuck, what does this mean? See, pleasure and pain, psychological thing. As I spoke before, I actually narrated those quotes just for some reason. Okay, so psychological things, your body definitely, like, that is a very doomed thing. Your body is a very doomed thing in spiritual journey. So in psychological way, pleasure and pain is not yours. It's a psychological thing, and you are just the one who is experiencing this thing. You are just a person, or a, let's say, a point or a object. You are a point who is like experiencing these things, and you are not the doer nor the enjoyer, and you are nothing. You are just not made up of earth, water, wind, fire, nothing. It even says that thing. So as you are nothing, you are just you are the guy who is just experiencing these things, and you have to move on with that. So as I said you that it's very hard to understand. That's what I meant. After that, the ego says that I am the doer. That's your ego. Many people take the blame for themselves. That's their ego, because ego has the capacity to like just take everything on their shoulder and like, that's me, because me is ego, I is ego, myself is ego, that is ego. All of these things comes down to ego. That's the thing has been spoken about here, is you have to take that thing out from yourself, because that is the killer of your spiritual growth. It actually says that your ego will kill your spiritual growth. After that, let's do something else. You pervade the universe, and this universe exists in you. You are really pure consciousness by nature. Don't be small minded. Okay, this is the quotation. Here, you pervade this universe, and this universe exists. This is a very humbling line for the universe. So in quantum physics, okay, let's talk about some science. In quantum physics, it is said like about your consciousness, even comes down to your consciousness at some level. It speaks about consciousness, that you are experiencing this universe. That's why this universe exists. Okay, this is something like crazy. If you wouldn't have survived, or let's say if you wouldn't have existed, then this universe would not exist. Now this comes down to one philosophy I would love to talk about. Like, you are the guy who has this consciousness. Like, you are the main character. In modern language, you are the main character, and everyone else is the side character. You are the only one with consciousness, and everyone else is just doing their job or doing their work. They are not a person with consciousness. Like, they are just your side character. Okay, like, now this can be connected to spirituality as well. Okay, like, you have been sent to like just gain experience from all this stuffs. Like, you know that there is a person that exists named Sadhguru. There is a person who existed named Osho. You know they are there right now, and you know that, okay, their consciousness is way higher than mine. Then how can I be the one with all this consciousness? Maybe you are in a simulation sent by some higher level being just for you to gain this experience. So this is a big philosophical debate, let's say. It's a big philosophical debate, and philosophy is just, let's not talk about it right now. You are unconditioned, immutable, formless, unimpassioned, or unfathomable intelligence and unperturbed desire for chit alone. As I'm talking about, only about consciousness. It doesn't speak about anything else. Just as mirror exists within and without the image reflected in it, even so the Supreme Lord exists inside and outside this body. So the idea is the image is the mirror. The image in the mirror has no real existence. It is a mere appearance. On the mirror exists. Even so, body, mind, etc. have no real existence. Okay, see, the body, the mind has no real existence. Okay, it is only by being superimposed on the self that they appear to exist. As just as the reflection cannot affect the mirror, so the body and mind cannot affect the self. It is speaking about the self. It's hard to understand the self. And what does it mean by the self? Your consciousness, definitely your consciousness. You're not mind, your brain, your IQ. It doesn't matter. Your body, your shirt, your t-shirt, whatever you are, doesn't matter. Just your consciousness. So chapter 1, it's not that hard to understand. Okay, this video took a bit longer just because I had to talk about something else, and it's very hard to discuss this type of books without actually getting engaged in some other philosophies or some other philosophical ideas. So it's okay. We'll be talking about chapter 2, chapter 3 in other videos as well. So stay with me, and for then, see you.